Hi guys, so today I thought I would do sort of a fun video, one brand, 13 body types. So you guys and my clients always ask me for advice on which brands to look out for shopping within your own lines. And it's always difficult to answer that question because even though brands have a certain aesthetic, they often cater to pretty much every single body type. And I wanted to show you guys this in this video. And of course, if you are completely new here, I'll leave some videos down below for you to watch if you just have no idea what's going on. So I chose these four brands, and all the dresses are from Everlane, all the jewelry are from Lombardi, and all the handbags are from Cuyana, and all the shoes are from Bhava. And Everlane reads as a primarily classic aesthetic, I would say. Lombardi reads as primarily Flamboyant Natural, and Cuyana and Bhava, they have a little bit of everything. But at the same time, when you look closely at Lombardi or Everlane, you can actually see that they have every single body type's lines in their items. So I wanted to show you that even though these looks may seem like they have a very similar aesthetic, which I think they do, they all go for different body types. A lot of these pieces are really versatile, so you might see some of the same pieces in different looks for the different body types, but at the same time, it's not so much about focusing on every single little piece, because that's what often will confuse us and just make things needlessly stressful, and it's all about the overall look and how you pair the pieces. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So first up we have gamines. So gamines look amazing with some broken lines, fittedness, pretty minimal jewelry, and bright colors and color blocking. So this is the gamine look, and you can see that the dress has some animated patterns to it. The bag is quite bright, and that's going to create a bit more of an animated look. And also we have some darker shoes for some color blocking, and the jewelry is pretty simple. So if you are a gamine who doesn't really like all of the over-the-top animated patterns, animated prints, things like that, bright colors, then this kind of statement piece might be for you, or just incorporating some elements is going to be enough for you to look really put together. Next up we have flamboyant gamines. So flamboyant gamines look amazing in some boxy shapes. That's why I chose this t-shirt dress. And even though this looks like a really minimal look, which it sort of is, at the same time it has a lot of flamboyant gamine elements. So I picked this color scheme because I really liked the minimalist vibe of it, but at the same time we have some chunky earrings that have a mixture of opposites, the circle and the rectangle, and we also have the bag that doubles as a backpack. So I was thinking that you could wear it on like a backpack, and that would create some color contrast. And the shoes are pretty interesting and a little bit chunky, so that's really good. And the necklace is going to create some different shapes around the neckline. So the neckline is rounded and the necklace is a v-neck. So I think that's going to look really, really good, but at the same time not over the top on a flamboyant gamine. And the whole look has a very mix and match feel to it, and that looks really, really awesome on flamboyant gamines especially. Next up we have soft gamines. So here we have a pretty simple dress, or it looks simple, but it actually has a lot of soft gamine elements. It has the higher neckline, and the buttons act as almost a contrasting pattern there, so those contrasting buttons are amazing for soft gamine. And we also have some sharp waist emphasis. The bag has some rounded shapes, and it also has some sharp shapes, and it's a little bit smaller, so that would look really good. And the strap is also going to create some color contrast there. The jewelry has a little bit more softness to it, but it's still pretty minimal, so we have some rounded shapes there, which is great. And we also have those same gamine shoes from before to create some color blocking. There is a soft gamine honorable mention. So you can see on the left, this dress again has those contrasting buttons, so that would look really good on a soft gamine. But when that dress is in a different color, I would say it would look better on a theatrical romantic, and you'll see that look for that dress dress for the theatrical romantic look that I'll show later. Oh, and also the use of color is something to note. So we have some contrasting colors on the left for Gamine, and we have some softer pastel-y colors for romantic, in this case theatrical romantic. So those soft colors are going to go with the softness of the romantic body type. So now we have romantics. Romantics look amazing with some intricate detailing, with some lightweight fabrics, as well as waist emphasis. They also look amazing in things that fit softly, but at the same time they fit well. So here is the romantic look that I put together. I thought that this would be really soft on a romantic. I found this bag that is just perfect for romantics. It has those rounded shapes, it has the smaller bow, and the bag itself is also small, and it's made of this supple leather-like material, so that's really awesome. And the jewelry is quite dainty, and it has some rounded shapes, and the necklace has some slight intricacy to it as well. So now we have theatrical romantic. We have some sharp waist emphasis, maybe some more sharpness in the neckline area, so that would complement theatrical romantic pretty well. And we still have the same jewelry as we did before, and I just chose these shoes that are a little bit more dainty, and they have some straps and some rounded edges, and the bag is the same as for soft gamine. Like, again, a lot of these pieces are really versatile and a lot of body types can wear them. It's all about how you put the entire look together. You can see we have the same bag but in a completely different look overall. Some honorable mentions for theatrical romantic and romantic are these dainty necklaces that again come from that designer Laura Lombardi, whose primary style is more consistent with Flamboyant Natural. So you can see how dainty these necklaces are, and if you are a romantic or a theatrical romantic and you want to incorporate some of that intricacy that your body type really looks good in, but you don't want to go for those over the top, really glitzy sorts of pieces, you can also layer necklaces. So you can layer these together and that would just look really amazing, or you could even layer with the necklace that I showed previously. I felt like the necklines of the dress and the jumpsuit didn't really match this shape of a necklace, so I left it out and just thought I would mention it here. But definitely layering necklaces is a good way to incorporate some intricacy if you are a romantic of any kind. Next up we have dramatics. Dramatics have some longer lines, so they look amazing in some elongated silhouettes. So here we have the dramatic look, and you can see we have the V-neck. We have a long line of the same color with the dress, and the bag is a little bit elongated, so it's a little bit tall, and it has some geometrics there to its shape. And the earrings are geometric and slightly oversized, and the shoes are quite versatile. I would say they would look really good with this look on a dramatic, and the whole look is minimal detail, pretty simple, clean lines, and some geometric shapes added in there as well. So I think that would look great on a dramatic. Next up we have soft dramatic. So we've added some softness to the dramatic bone structure, and so we have some more rounded shapes to the dress this time, some more rounded shapes to the overall look, but you can see that the aesthetic is quite similar. So the dress has some elongated rounded shapes. This kind of wrap dress is really amazing for soft dramatic, but the lines are still clean. The lines are not overly unconstructed, and I really liked that bucket bag because it has some of those rounder shapes, and it's not so small, but it is a little bit smaller. I think it matches well with the overall look. The jewelry has some intricacy to it, so that bracelet has a little bit of swirl to it, which is really nice and adds that intricacy. And I just added a simple necklace just to complete the look because soft dramatics look amazing with an ensemble look, so something really put together that matches well. And the earrings are softer and a bit more dangly, so that's going to look amazing. And of course the shoes match the whole look for the ensemble look. In this case I just chose to match the shoes with the bag, and they're strappy to add in some of that softness that the soft dramatic requires. Next up, we have classics. Classics look amazing with a clean silhouette, everything balanced, nothing too tight, nothing too loose, nothing too detailed, nothing too frilly. So everything is quite balanced and pretty minimal, both in shape and in detailing. They also look amazing in some ensemble looks, so a look that goes well together instead of a mix and match approach like the Gamines. So here is our classic look. So I chose the dress with some pretty clean lines and minimal detail. It's not too tight or too loose. It's just in the middle, and the bag has some clean lines to it as well, and the shoes are pretty minimal too, and the jewelry again is minimal, but it all matches together really well. Classics look amazing when the colors blend well together, but you don't want to go for a completely monochromatic look as a classic, so I added in some different shades of neutrals, and I think that would look perfect. And now I used the same dress, and I want to show you guys how we can style this dress for soft classic instead of classic. So I added a bag that is a little bit smaller with some rounded shapes to it, and I also added some more intricacy to the jewelry, so you can see that the earrings are just a touch more dangly, the necklace has some intricacy there, and the bracelet, that bracelet is actually quite small and dainty. You can see how big the clasp is in comparison to the bracelet. So overall, I think this would look really wonderful on a soft classic. Soft classics look great in some softer colors as well, and dramatic classic, which is what we have here, look really good with some bolder colors. So color is another thing that you could look at and pay attention to when it comes to your body type. So we have a pretty simple silhouette with this dress, and that neckline being a little bit open like that creates just a touch of geometry there, and the whole silhouette is symmetrical, the whole look is symmetrical, and I used some understated geometric jewelry. And I would add that if you are going to wear, let's say, the necklace, then maybe don't wear the bracelet, and vice versa. So either choose the bracelet or the necklace, because this yang undercurrent of the dramatic classic is going to make it such that the detailing should be a little bit more minimal. So just like with dramatics, we had some very minimal detailing with dramatic classic as well. I just find minimal detail is amazing, but some geometrics and some interest in that way is really good and will really bring out some of the bone structure that you have. You can think of dramatic classic as an understated dramatic, so you can see that the bag is a little bit less geometric, a little bit smaller, but still medium sized. The jewelry is a little bit more understated, but still geometric, and the lines are not so geometric and so stiff, so I think this would be great. Next up, we have naturals. Naturals look amazing with some unconstructed lines, some oversized shapes, and some chunky jewelry as well. So for natural, I chose this simple t-shirt dress, and I just paired it with actually the same shoes but in a different color that I used for dramatics, and the color here is important. So for a dramatic, this kind of shoe might not work as well in this nude color, but for a natural, since that shape of the shoe is so versatile and naturals look really good with some pretty minimal shoes, then this is going to look really good. And I just paired it with that bag that it doesn't have that many sharp angles. It has more blunt angles to it, but at the same time it's structured, so it does look a bit more put together. And I also added some chunky statement pieces that I think would look amazing. And here we have Flamboyant Natural, so it's the same kind of story as with Natural. Flamboyant Natural and Natural can really interchange a lot of their looks, a lot of their lines, but in this case, I chose a dress that has an even longer line to it, and this look also, well, that dress could work for a dramatic, but it's the accessories and the color scheme that make it more of a Flamboyant Natural look. So in this case, we don't have any sharp angles to the look, and the shoes are quite versatile. They have the angles are kind of in between sharp and blunt depending on which body type you pair it with. And just like your pieces are going to pick up on your lines of your bone structure, so will your bone structure pick up on the lines of the pieces that you're wearing. So when a dramatic wears these shoes, we'll pick up more on the angularity of them, and when a flamboyant natural wears these shoes, they might start to look a little bit more, we might pick up more on some of their blunt angles. And we have soft natural. So soft natural is a bit more different from flamboyant natural and natural, and soft natural requires a little bit more softness to the overall look. So I chose a pretty flowy dress, and the bag is the most unconstructed bag that we have out of all of these, because soft natural really has the unconstructed shape, and also on top of that some softness because of the soft flesh of the soft natural. So I chose a bag that looks quite soft, but on a soft natural it'll actually look quite structured. And the shoes are pretty simple, and they are pretty strappy to play in with some of the softness, and also the jewelry is a little bit more chunky than it would be for a romantic, for example, but at the same time it still has a little bit more visual weight to it, so that would look perfect on a soft natural. And of course there aren't any sharp angles anywhere, it's all pretty soft, and a pretty soft and flowy look overall. So that is it, you guys. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below, and of course, if you're still confused about your body type, I do offer consults through my website, and I'll leave a link to those down below as well. And I will talk to you next time.